Hello. I just wanted to see if this would work. So forever, my upload speed capped out at 2.0, right? And I mean, cable companies can set your upload speed to anything they want. They just limit it based on what you pay them. And all of a sudden, I think they accidentally bumped me up to the next thing, even though I'm not paying them anymore. So suddenly it's going up all the way to like 7. So now I'm just want to test streaming it like 6,500 bits per second and see if that works. This is a game that happened to be in the shared replay folder between Nick and I. I don't know how it got there. I guess Nick is coaching Tom, so that's how it got in there. You know, it was just the top replay, so I'm just gonna watch it. I'm shocked. It looks like this is working. That's so funny. That's so funny, you guys. Oh, it's dropping down to 4. Uh-oh. Might not be working. Oh well. Worth a shot. Anyway, I don't know what's going to happen in this game or anything. I didn't get the email associated with this because this is for Nick. It's not for me. So I'm totally violating your privacy, yo. How's it going, privacy? I have violated you. So first we got to fast forward to 6 minutes and see if it's worth watching the rest of this game. Pause, 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 pause. Hey, look, 24 workers. What do you know? Cool. All right, eBay, pretty 6-minute eBay for add-onless racks. Again, each geyser gives you 100 gas per minute, so it doesn't look like there's any ability to spend that next 100 gas. I don't know, maybe 2 more reactor cores coming. And massive income lead. Look at this amazingly huge income lead. So the tank push is going to either kill him or he's going to just massively win this game because that is a huge income lead. So we got a Banshee that didn't get any kills before the tank push comes. The whole point of the Banshee tank push is to get it to thin out the opponent's marine count so that when you do the tank push, there's not enough marines to stop you. And this is only one tank. It looks like the second tank is coming. This guy's being quite a bit too aggressive, I think, pushing in this close. And here we go. So Tom's units are all bunched up. And, oh, he walks into siege range, takes some damage, and then retreats again. The longer he can delay before anything serious happens, the better, because he's got a bigger economy and a big macro infrastructure, but he's not using it. He's not making any troops. So delaying when you're not reinforcing, that's just kind of silly. But this is honestly not very much. Tom should be able to kill this as soon as he attacks. So if I were him, again, I'd spread out in a single line thick marine wall, keep up reinforcements, rally down here, and then lift this CC, pull SCVs, and go. And then after, he might lose like 5 or 6 SCVs. But then he'll have 2 command centers and just be massively ahead. Double eBay with only a single upgrade, no armory, and +1 is done, so can't use the next eBay. Obviously, when you're about to die, that's not the main thing you're worried about. Oh, I can play with Viking. So he does what I thought without lifting the CC. Pulls SCVs, walks in here. But again, too much micro on these Marines. Just A-move them. You don't have to pro game now. You don't have to try to stutter step. Never try to stutter step against tanks, because every time you stutter forward it groups your dudes up and you get crushed. So as always, you fast expand and lose to some aggressive nonsense. So that is something that happens to me all the time. Basically the only way to catch a Banshee tank push is you got to catch it midfield before they siege up close to you, because otherwise that slow push is gonna eat you and you'll be dead. So let's see, how do we there we go, invite to party, custom game. So there's 2 daybreaks. This one, stim costs 150, and this one, it doesn't. So somehow this invalid version of the map made it to be more popular than the valid version of the map. Very weird. Uh-oh, he canceled the ready process. Pro game all day. He doesn't want to know what's going on. Oh no! Maybe if I leave the party and create. Oh, I get it. I was trying to join instead of trying to create. That's why. And then add player. Hey, now it says he's in a game. This is so weird. It's like bugged. Buggy Mick, Buggington. Alright, so yeah, it's still up at 7. That's so cool, man. 7! Can you see that? That number should never be above 1.5, and it's 7. It's amazing. What? Am I not? Okay. I'll just let him host. TvT. What? Just play, okay. GSL style. I don't know what that means. I don't pay to watch StarCraft, so I don't know anything about the GSL. Although I love Tastosis, I will just watch them when it's free to do so. Sheba! So this is Viking. I've only played against him twice, and both times he tried to do a drop on my main and then followed it up with a tank push. He had a really good build for about the first 10 minutes on 2-base, and then after that he kind of fell apart on his macro. I don't know if that was planned, like it was a 2-base all-in with a late third, or if it's just an indication that his macro tends to slip once the game gets going along. But I'm going to assume the second until proven otherwise, so my goal this game is just to last until about 15 minutes, because I feel like I have an advantage at that point. Watching the replays, he had a better, more efficient build. He had about $2,000 more army than me by 10 minutes, and just really bad army movement and army usage. So hopefully I can take advantage of that in this game as well. My plan is to fast expand with... No, I don't know. Both times he got a bunker at the front before. I don't know if he's going to do that again. Maybe. What I usually like to do in TvT is open 2 racks, 12-14, and see if I can do some damage at the front, and then just fast expand at 4 minutes behind that, which delays your expo by 40 seconds, and 40 seconds later CC means you miss 3 SCVs. So it puts you behind by 3 SCVs with the opportunity to usually kill 3 SCVs. And so it usually breaks even, but I just did it last time we played, so I think he'd probably be ready for it, and he did get a bunker last time, so not going to do that. I think I might open Banshee, even though I don't have gas at 16 workers. Zergo P. Zergo P. Da-na-da-na-da-da-na-na-na. Ooh. Why you stream during ROG finals? Don't have to pay to watch GSL if you watch it live. Yeah, watching things live I also don't do. It's like I don't even watch live TV. I don't want to schedule my day around watching something. But thank you. I might not have known that. You never know. I don't know what an ROG final is. I'm not streaming to get viewers. I'm streaming to make it quicker to upload the results to YouTube. If it turns out to be an interesting game or something worth uploading. I do kind of enjoy the idea that someone is watching me play, so I appreciate you tuning in. But I'm not confident that I can talk and play well at the same time in a manner that would make it worthwhile for anyone to watch me play, so, you know. So that's why I don't stream with the intent of getting lots of people to watch me. I don't know what an ROG final is, though. That's not an acronym I'm familiar with. ROG. Round of G. What's the ROG final? So I don't have any scouting information. I kind of want to see what he's doing before it happens, or else I could get caught completely by surprise and be very unhappy about it. But I also don't want to pull a worker to go take the watchtower, so maybe I'll put this dude out there. I don't think I need a depot because of that. So my first gas is all going towards production rather than upgrades. Usually I spend my first gas on +1 attack and then my second gas on stim. But this time all my initial gas is going towards having enough marines because I don't have any idea what he's doing and I don't want to find out. So I'm just going to be safe and just get a ton of stuff. And then I'll get combat shield, which is again the safe maneuver. That's the thing you can get to make you more able to resist early stuff. Again, my whole focus this game just to last until about 15 minutes when hopefully I will have some sort of advantage.
Add-on complete.
So the next 200 gas is going to go into double ups, delaying my factory quite a bit, but I'm okay with that. I don't really feel like I need a factory. Because if he does a tank push with 3 marines, I mean 3 tanks, or 2 tanks, or 1 tank, then I'm better off having a bunch of not tanks, a bunch of marines. So I need a factory to start now so that I can start the armory in time to get... It's funny, I'm going to emphasize production, and then I keep talking about which upgrades I want next, and then skipping rounds of production in order to get the upgrades more quickly. That's something you should never do. I'm probably have a tiny army at this point because of it.
Research complete.
Oops. So I need more gas. Okay, 2 Hellions doesn't mean anything, but I'm worried that if he has 1,000,000 Hellions, I'm just going to lose. It's certain strategies I just don't prepare for intentionally because I'm okay with losing sometimes. And Mass Blue Flame is one of them. Unless I randomly happen to see it coming, I tend to just lose to Mass Hellion. So it's 10 minutes in. Yep, Mass Blue Flame Hellion. Kind of okay with this as long as it doesn't end up being dropped in my base. Usually Blue Flame means lots of tanks, so I'm going to add 2 more factories. I might completely cut upgrades even though I went for the quick 2-2 style. Just because infantry upgrades don't work against tanks. So he's adding additional factories. He's got a tech lab on his starport. Got to get turrets. So those are I think those are the last upgrades I'm going to get. Starting my first 2 medevacs, and then I'm going to go mass tank from there.
Research complete.
Funny. He's trying to find weaknesses in the turret ring with that 11-minute third. I can't add 2 more medevacs like I wanted to because I just started some upgrades that I don't even really need, so I'm going to cancel them and go for these cute little medevacs. And now is the time where I suspect he's going to be pushing across the field, so I want to go see him coming. So I've got my triple factory. After those rocks are dead, I will start distance mining. For now, he's just trying to be annoying with banshees, but it's not going to work out.
Research complete.
Oh, I don't have a scan. Now I do. Ah. 2-2's done. I've got 4 medevacs.
Upgrade
Now is the
complete.
time. I didn't really mean to bring that SCV with me, but I'm okay with the fact that I did.
Upgrade complete. Add-on complete.
So I know he's got a turret ring out there. I'm kind of surprised at how late game centric he's being this game. I feel like that went okay. I need, see how it says 160? That means I need 4 more depots. That means 1, 2, 3. Now I'm done with depots for the game. I think I'm done with SCVs as well.
Base is under attack.
I'm gonna let the Hellions in exchange for killing these tanks. Ah, I didn't get there fast enough. I should stop making SCVs. I am gonna get 3-3 just because I made it this far. Might as well go the rest of the way. This is a good kind of scary siege position, so I'm gonna make sure he doesn't get it.
Mineral field
And then the rest of these dudes are gonna go around.
add-on complete. Mineral field depleted.
Mineral field depleted.
Mineral field depleted. Upgrade complete. Mineral field depleted.
We could use some help here.
Our SCVs are under attack. Add-on complete. Mineral field depleted.
I'm in deep.
is under attack. Upgrade complete.
A lot of cloak banshees for this late in the game. So just like I kind of predicted, he's sort of falling apart here at the end. He is trying to kind of slowly encroach on this position, but it's not really working.
Can't hold him alone. We could use some help here.
Should stop stimming if I'm not going to make medevacs.
We could use some help here. We could use some help here.
Mineral field.
And I suspect that he's not mining at all, but I might be wrong. This is like the 900th time on this map that he's tried for that specific position.
Mineral field. Mineral field completed. Base is under attack.
I'm kind of at 200 U, not doing anything. It's never a good place to be, but he's not mining, so I don't feel the need to really do very much. And why spread out and defend everything when I can just defend his choke, right? So I'm gonna go do that.
Can't hold him alone. Can't hold him alone.
Suiciding off a ton of army for a really inefficient trade, but again, he doesn't have any money, so I can be as inefficient as I want because he can't mine. And that should be the end. The end, my friend. So again, really powerful early game player, not a lot of late game. If this were not a really nice guy that I'm playing with because we're friends, I would totally just be like, GG, why aren't you leaving? Because I'm kind of an ass.
Upgrade complete.
These two tanks are going to be my absorbed tank fire tanks, while the rest of them are my do damagey tanks. I believe if we look at the units lost tab at the end of this game, I'm going to be way behind. Like, I did not use my units very well, but once it was 3 base for me and then 4 base for me, like, it didn't matter. His plan is always to win on 2 bases, which works great in TvP and TvZ, but it's impossible to kill a Terran in TvT, so, you know, all I had to do was live for a little while and my higher worker count wins. Alright, if we play again, I'm not going to play to win because I think I pretty much... I pretty much know if I just go to the late game I can win that way. I'm going to practice some stuff that I think is powerful but that I'm really bad at. Like a Banshee 111 would be great. The 4 factory when I saw Blue Flame is what allowed me not to die due to constant tank pushing. All you need to do to survive tank push is like 4 or 5 tanks in a good position. Even if he has 10 tanks, they can't get past 5 tanks. Boom. Go gas first, Proxy Banshee. I will do that. Thank you. That's a good idea. Stream is very choppy. Uh-oh. Republic of Gamers, Tasia versus MC. What's a TSL4? Team Liquid Invitational StarCraft League? Is it like that? Oh, good. I'm glad it's not. See, again, my cable company made a mistake and is giving me 7 megabits per second upload speed for some reason, and I'm only paying for 2. So I thought I'd try uploading, streaming it at 6.5k or megabits per second, which is more than a lot of people have even of download bandwidth. So if you don't have that much download bandwidth, it's going to be choppy for you. I'm sorry. But this is just an experiment. I wanted to see how it looks. I wanted to try streaming at that amazing amount of upload bandwidth. Like I've never been able to stream higher than 18, so to be at 65, that's pretty funny. I think we're waiting for him to host again, and I will totally proxy Banshees just for you because I'm terrible at Banshee usage. It's funny, I was playing Zerg for the entire first half of this season, so I was down in Diamond League. And when I decided I wanted to go back to Terran, I was playing against low diamond people, or high diamond people, but diamond people nonetheless. So I felt like I can win no matter what I do. So in all of my TVTs, I open Banshee because I'm so bad at using Banshees that I thought it'd be a good thing to try to practice. Banshees, like, there's a Darlane's micro practice map where you can just take some Banshee, you get 2 Banshees against 20 Marines, and you're like, kill these 20 Marines with your 2 Banshees. And I could do it on that map when they're not trying to cut me off or whatever. And basically the key is that when Banshees stop moving after going forward, they float an extra range forward. So Banshees have 6 range, Marines have 5. If you ever attack towards a Marine... Ooh. Alright, I'm gonna see if we can all play together. Invite to party. Invite to party. Nick and I wanted to try this 3OC thing. Oh yeah, so anyway, the key to killing Marines with Banshees is you have to be moving away from them. And that means that they have to gullibly walk into you as you're moving away from them. And I can never get that to work in real games. But other people do it to me all the time, so it's obviously possible. I just suck horribly. Alright then. I should get in Ventrilo and give him the infos. Or we could just do a Google Hangout. I think, though, after 3.5, you don't get much more return quality or more bandwidth. That might be true, man. That's why it's an experiment. I've never done it before, and you might be right that it's not worth doing. I've found, honestly, when doing local recordings, that after about 3.5k, you're right, there's very little return. But, oh man, it doesn't let you do this where you I'm going to make Nick the leader. He can figure it out. Does anyone know how to host a 2-player map with 3 people in the party? Obviously, that's how all the tournaments do it, so there's a way to do it, but I think you host with 2 people and then you invite the third, probably. Yeah. What was I doing? Ventrilo or Google Hangout? Make a lobby and not use the party system. I agree, man. That is definitely the answer. Have you seen this guy? Don't watch me, man. Watch Xenocider. He's so much cooler than me. How do I... Ventrilo. Hey Nikki. So I'm streaming just to try out the higher upload bandwidth, so I don't want to tell him the password because then it'll go to the whole stream. So tell Viking how to get invent, and he's not accepting the invite for the game. Simon's watching SpongeBob, and it's like on YouTube. It's not an actual episode of SpongeBob. It's just like a close up of the squid character going over and over for a whole minute. And Simon's like saying that out loud. He's like, "This is cool." He thinks everything is cool if it's on YouTube. And everything. I don't know.
Well, we think everything is cool too.
So you don't know why you're about to throw up. That's cool. So are you Zerg or am I?
But I kind of feel like I'll be Zerg since I don't have the wherewithal to do anything else.
So wherewithal.
Category melee.
So in order to get 20 roaches out, you're going to need 500 gas, and you get 100 per minute from each geyser. So.
All right. Well, the rules are send an
out.
SCV scout, and I'm going to get the gas after I force your SCV scout out.
Well, you should be able to do the math and determine whether you need a second geyser in order to hit the benchmark. Because like I said, it's 100 gas a minute per geyser, so it's not hard to do.
Well, but you can keep your SCV in there for a long time, because those queens pop. You know, yes, you can.
That's funny. I don't think I saw a Xenocider keep SCVs in his opponent's base for a long time. I never saw that.
Yeah, well, he doesn't always, but so yeah, I plan to go to the beach soon, but if I continue to feel like crap, I'm probably not going to go.
Right.
Oh yeah, but he didn't do that.
Talkie. So what we're testing here is there's a build that both the Muslim and Xenocider use. That's 3 OC, like ridiculously early. 1 Marine, 3 command centers. And then they get like a Banshee at like 7.5 minutes or something. And have 6 Hellions and a Banshee at 8 minutes. And then 12 Hellions and 2 Banshees at 10 minutes. And then they get this humongous army after that. So the question is, that looks like it's just going to die if you get 20 roaches come to your base at 8 minutes. And we watched a bajillion times them doing this against pro players. And the problem is that pro Zergs know that ZVT is heavily favored towards Zerg in the late game. So they tend not to all in. They tend to just go into the late game. And then when the Terran is on 4 bases with 80 workers ridiculously early with 4 mules, they find out that TvZ or ZVT isn't heavily favored for the Zerg in the late game if the Terran has this ridiculous economy. So I think the answer from Zerg perspective is to all in, but Grandmaster Zergs just don't all in. So we wanted to see it happen, so we're going to have to do it ourselves, man. So I have to SCV scout so that I know if you get gas. And once you get gas, whether you pull guys off gas after 100. 1 Marine. I believe that they get their CCs on the high ground and until the Hellions are out, right?
Yep.
Because there's no way with 1 Marine to hold the low ground. And the Hellions aren't coming anytime soon. Now double gas, and then factory as soon as I can. So obviously the earliest you can get a factory, I mean a Banshee with normal gas timing is like 6 minutes and 20 seconds. So yeah, you can get gas way before 6 minutes. My SCV is definitely going to be dead as soon as those first 2 lings pop. That's right now. So I'm not at all worried about your ability to hide a roach rush. But with gas this late, 200 gas, so I should be able to get a factory at about 5:30, and then a starport at 6:30, and then a Banshee at 7:30, which is what I see Muslim and Xenocide are doing. Yeah. So no suspicion that a roach rush is coming because I see a no gas opening, right? Ta-da!
That's the idea.
And I never see them build bunkers either. The next scout isn't going to be until my Hellions are out, which isn't going to be until 7 minutes, basically. By which time it's kind of too late.
Our SCVs are under attack.
I love how one at a time they come in.
Our SCVs
One at a time they come for me.
Albie, I think
Yeah?
I messed it up.
You messed it up? That's not surprising.
Well.
You're not exactly a Zerg player.
Shut up.
Well, I didn't mean for that to be insulting.
our
It was more of an "it's okay, Nick."
Tis a
Like, that's
fact.
the opposite of insulting. Or that was the intent anyway. Maybe I am. Maybe I'm a horrible person. So to not see creep spread and not see queens would obviously let me know right now that a roach rush is coming, but it's too late. It's already past 8 minutes, and now I'm dead. Except Nick didn't do it, so I'm not dead. What is going on here? Like, this is 9 minutes already.
Yeah, I know. I got my roach warren a little bit late.
I agree.
That was my mess up.
I gotta agree with that. That statement of the late roach warren. I think if the Zerg does anything after 11 minutes, the Terran is already even, because I looked a lot of times in those games. He had 110 supply at 11 minutes, which is what you have off of a 1 base or a 2 base or whatever as well. So I don't think that this is going to be... I mean, you're probably still going to win, because Hellions don't really kill roaches. But,
base is under attack. Our SCVs are under attack. Base is under attack.
think I might have just lowered the depots. Did I just lower the depots?
All SCVs
No.
under attack.
Okay. So I did kind of hold that pretty easily, but again, it was very late.
Yeah, let's try that again. Me hitting when I should have hit.
Yeah. Once the second Banshee's out, it becomes kind of a, ticking time bomb of doom. And the idea here is that it's okay for Terran to lose as many as like 20 workers because you're on 3 OC right now. As long as you're not dead at the end of the rush, then you win. But again, six Hellions and 1 Banshee at 8 minutes is not enough to hold 20 roaches, and that's what we're trying to test. So. I think, so assuming you start roaches at 6 minutes, you're going to need to finish them by like 7:30. So you need 20 larvae and I don't know. The Zerg, it's so easy to invent Zerg builds because you just calculate exactly how many minerals and gas you need, and then you get that many, and you calculate how many drones you need to have mining to keep up constant production off of the larvae you're going to get, and so on and so forth. I think 1 queen instead of 2 is pretty key here because you're not going to need all that larva.
Really?
And cutting workers at 5 minutes and 30 seconds with about 28 workers, probably. Well, I mean, it's easier to feel from your perspective, but if you hit all your injects, didn't you have too much larva?
No, I didn't. I was way mineral blocked. But the thing is I way over droned because I got my roach warren too late. I want to get 2 queens just because, I don't know, I would feel better. Like, one, we're wondering if
it can be scouted.
A roach all-in will beat this no matter what. That's definitely something we're curious about. What I'm also curious about is if a Zerg does this in response to seeing that third orbital command. Because basically what I was doing, is it still deadly? Can the Zerg still transition from like having 2 queens into a roach all-in and still have it be effective?
Yeah.
So my hunch is that larva is going to be an issue. So I'm going to get the 2 queens. I faced a Zerg on the ladder who I 2-raxed and he went pool first, and I was like, come on. And I played him again, and afterwards I was like, so, you just by coincidence went pool first? And he was like, well, pretty much all Terrans in the Master's ladder are either going CC first or proxy 2-racks, and pool first counters both of those. So
that's funny. And I mean, that's what I'm totally with him there. Because anything else is just you're gonna lose to Zerg, so.
This is my gripe. I mean, it's like, yeah, even if Terrans get like a small edge in the metagame, whatever they do is so freaking risky and all in that, it's not really gonna.
I don't know. Our complaint
really
was that Zerg can
build.
play greedy, and we're so afraid of Zerg all-ins that we can't play greedy back. So if we can find a build like this that is able to be, to be greedy without being worried about an all-in, then that answers those questions, And I feel like that's what Xenocider keeps saying when he plays, is like, you might think this is really vulnerable to Zerg all-ins, but it's not, because, you just need to practice against the various Zerg all-ins and figure out how to hold them with this build. And I think that's what we got to do. I don't know that I believe him, but it's definitely worth investigating, man. He's a damn good player. Do you think I should just
one thing Xenocider
cut the second
does
depot
that I really appreciate?
altogether?
Huh?
I'm gonna do that. Sorry, I'm mumbling to myself. I think I'm gonna cut my second depot because I'm that cool. I also didn't scout, but scouting didn't seem to be helpful last time. I mean, it makes you delay your gas until 4 minutes and 20 seconds, but that's not very much. You probably don't want gas until then anyway.
One thing that Xenocider does really well that I've enjoyed watching is I suppose I need 2 overlords now. Is he gets he has a really nice late game transition. Like, you and I both kind of suck versus Zerg in the late game. We just kind of try and win before that, and if not, we just lose.
Right.
And he's got like a very viable approach, like PFs and BCs
yeah, but
and
I've never had a
Ravens,
problem
Ghosts.
late game if I have a good enough economy. The problem is always that he has a bigger army, like dollar for dollar. He's got twice as much army as me. And I feel like Xenocider's never been in that situation. When he was just like, well, I just don't have enough money, I give up, you know? So I kind of disagree. I agree that he's great late game against Zerg, and I agree that that's something to envy. I just think that we'd be great too if we had 4 bases with 80 SCVs, you know? Like, that's... he gets that lead early, he doesn't get it late.
Yeah, I'm not convinced. I kind of pretty much plan on just sucking in general.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's partially just because we've given up on TvZ, though. Before the Queen patch, you felt decent late game against Zerg. Ish. Because their economy was smaller, and therefore you had a bigger economy, and that's what it's all about. Is
Upgrade complete.
it takes a bigger economy to feel good about it. Should be dropping all my mules on the low ground rather than the high ground too.
Complete. Add-on complete.
This is actually really easy to do. I expected this to be a lot harder, but you have no buildings, so... So again, my first Hellions aren't out until like 7.5 minutes. My Banshee should be out by now. I did something wrong. My Banshee's really late.
Here I come.
I see ya. Yeah, I don't know. Again, last time you were late, this time I'm late. I feel like this isn't a valid test either because I'm just way too late with these Banshees. I should have 2 Banshees. Can't get my SCV over there. This seemed really easy to hold off again. I don't know if constant reinforcements are going to change the story, but... I'm gonna have to say this is, I mean, I'm not doing very well at holding this. I'm not microing very much at all, and it still seems like it's pretty damn close to being an easy hold.
Yeah, I feel like you held it off fine, honestly. Right. And I'm not really sure.
I completely cut Hellions by accident, and I have like 500, 700 bucks in the bank by accident, and you know, it's still gonna be an easy hold. So we should try again. Did you... I do feel like I got everything late and still held it, but I don't know if that push was a little bit late too. Like the goal is to show up before the second Banshee. Hey. It's next to Simon. Host.
Yeah, I want to see what our final worker count was. But it looks like even at the end of that, like I killed a bunch of workers, but it doesn't matter. You've got 3 OC in base. I've got no transition, and All right, so this time I'm gonna. So that's good. I mean, you're kind of faring a lot better than I expected you to.
Yeah.
Um,
The roaches are just so slow before roach speed. Like, I have visions in my mind of, like, well, the roaches are going to show up and they're going to do that stutter step micro and just rip everything to shreds. But you forget that without roach speed, they can't do any of that. They're just kind of slowly lumbering around. Yeah.
And even if I vision of that high ground and I'm killing lots of workers, it doesn't
I
matter.
think ling speed is a pretty
you kill
key
one roach.
thing that
Yeah,
you're
I
skipping.
was thinking about that.
Because when you follow up with lings, if the roaches bust the wall in and then lings come, that should be game over. I mean, with 3 banshees, you know, you can produce lings faster than 3 banshees can kill them, and especially if I let the hellions die because I suck at micro. I don't know. But so far, I'm impressed. I didn't expect it to be this easy.
I think you and I have thought previously, it's like, well, it's impossible to hold the low ground doing a 3 OC against any sort of Zerg pressure. And I think that's true, basically. But if you just plate your choke and lose a lot of SCVs and still win, like, great. That's fine.
You come out of it with a
Terran still
huge
wins,
economy and a giant army and a tech that gives you automatic map control. I mean, what's he going to do before Infestors against 3 banshees in the middle of the field? He's going to stay home. That's what he's going to do.
Right.
And this build is so much easier to do than I expected too, Nick. You should really try it. It feels so smooth and easy.
I plan on it.
Because most builds, like, the timing of various things is all complicated, and you have to be worrying about constantly producing Marines and SCVs while also building the tech buildings you want and stuff. But you're not making any Marines.
You don't have to worry about units.
Yeah. You're not making Marines, and Hellions are crazy easy to use, and, I mean, I'm not used to make, and Banshees, like, you only have to build them once a minute. It's like, you practically don't have to build them. I do think cutting the second depot altogether is the way to get this done as quick as possible. Because you supply block at 19 SCVs, and I remember repeatedly being like, hey, he's supply blocking at 19 SCVs. So, you know, he's doing it on purpose. I should really stop making my CC on the low ground, too. That's kind of cheating.
Doesn't really matter, I don't think.
Right, I agree. It's just, I should do the build the way it's meant to be done if I'm going to be practicing the build.
Upgrade complete.
Doobie doobie doo. And since I'm going to get supply blocked at 19 anyway, I might as well cut my 18th SCV in order to get the CC a little faster. I think I've seen people pre-build a high ground bunker. I think that would have helped a lot. But I've also seen Xenocider hold it without the high ground bunker, so I'm going to keep not doing it until I have trouble.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
What do I see? I see gas!
That was close.
I see 3 orbital commands.
Upgrade complete.
It feels like you can afford the second Rex. Like, I keep ending up with a bunch of extra minerals. I don't know. And I can't get the 6:20 starport is when I see it normally coming down, so I don't think I'm doing that wrong.
Add-on complete.
Oh, you know why my minerals are so high is because I want to have enough for these Hellions. That's why.
Ashley, I'm feeling a little better, so let's do Operation Go.
Beach, 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 beach.
Add-on complete.
Huh. Nick, you're such a dick.
Add-on complete.
I'm in a heap of trouble.
Ow. All right, here we go.
Got me again, dude.
Yeah, this is easy. Try 7 roach rush, man. 1 base, no second hatchery, 7 roach rush. Because I honestly
Alright.
have 1 marine and 1 rax, and I've already built the CC. I don't know. I guess at 2 minutes and 20 seconds, I'd know that you didn't take your hatchery. But what if I don't scout? I've seen Xenoseeder not scout a lot of times. I don't know. Even if the
Well,
7 roach
again,
rush does beat this, like, you know, that's your own fault for not scouting.
Right.
I don't know. There's
Yeah,
there's a
exactly,
7 roach 7-minute rush where you do take your expo and then you just do the rush 1 larva inject later. The thing is, I'm not gonna have a banshee until almost 8 minutes. So anything that hits before then maybe would be a problem. Especially if you can kill the tech lab and prevent the banshee. I don't know. I don't know what to say. This is surprisingly easy to hold stuff with. Maybe Nick's just horrible. What do you think, Nick?
And it's very possible I'm messing it up, but like my money is like perfectly low. I'm spending all my larvae. I mean, that last rush, I felt like I was doing as good as I could. I'm sure there are things I could have done better, but the bottom line is I felt like my macro was right for the timing I was hitting. All my minerals and gas were low, and I was spending all my larvae.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not sure. I mean, I think 1 base plays like I pull first like a 5-mana Baneling bust, or and that kind of stuff might be problematic. But when's the last time you saw a 5-mana Baneling bust? And if that's the way the metagame is shifting, I'm
I'm
fine
happy
with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, and you should be able to scout 1 base plays by seeing that he doesn't have an expo. Like that's, and
Right.
even if I don't scout it and I lose to that, I can be happy that it's my own
Okay.
fault for not scouting. Dun, dun, doo, doo. One thing I will say is this build gives you a lot of time to just stretch your arms and lay back. Like, I'm saving up for 2 command centers. I don't really need to be looking at the screen. I do feel like building the high ground CC doesn't I mean, it's going to cost you like a worker, but 3 OC puts you far enough ahead that I'm okay with costing yourself a worker. I'm going to delay my orbital and get faster CCs. That's what I'm going to do. I still think mathematically that's the bestest thing in the universe. What do you think, Nick?
Yes. Whatever you said.
I agree. I agree with myself. Because you're delaying the orbital to get faster CCs, but then you're going to get those second and third orbitals faster by that amount of time. So the amount of time you delayed the first orbital is made up for by getting the second orbital that much faster. Ta-da. Math. And this allows me to be making a orbital at the time when I'm supply blocked. So that's cool. I didn't make my first Marine, Nick. I think that's a pretty severe problem. I don't even need this depot now because the CC is going to finish in time. That's cool.
Upgrade complete.
No, I delayed my core. Funny, I have like 2 unit producing structures. I can't believe I would ever delay either of them for any reason.
I got larva blocked at the wrong time. Or rather, supply blocked.
Away.
Add-on Add-on complete.
I'm making my Raxes instead of making Hellions. This is stupid. I shouldn't be doing that. Ah, I camera locked myself on a CC.
Add-on complete.
I did that by accident the other day.
Add-on complete. Our SCVs are under attack.
That one Hellion is hilarious.
I'm in a heap of trouble.
You can give up any time, my friend.
I'm out. You got me.
You can give up any time.
So can you, buddy. So can you.
Base is under attack.
Alright, well maybe you'll win the next one instead of that one, which I clearly won.
Yes, that's true.
Well, you did good,
Let's
my friend.
switch
You
spots,
should take
man.
that to the ladder.
Switch spots.
No, I got to go to the beach. I'm
Okay.
feeling a little bit better, but I'll be back this evening.
All right,
Adios.
Sinkoko. See ya, Hiro Nakamura. Oh, now I have no one cool to play with. That's sad. Am I done, Infestors OP? That's a good question. Am I done? I think I'm gonna ladder. I like that 3OC Banshee Hellion build. I like it. I think after I practice it 500 times against nobody, I will take it to the ladder. But for now, I'm not ready yet because I've only practiced it a couple times against Nick and only for the first 10 minutes. But Rays I can certainly play against. Hey, this stream stopped uploading.